Hi there, good morning people, welcome back to the channel. I'm back with another TV license video, and there's another news story just dropped. This time it's a mother and she was in hospital and her son took ill. I believe he had liver disease. I'll just read the article quickly. So it says, mother in hospital with sick son convicted of TV licence breach after nephew watched BBC Match of the Day. And it says TV licensing brought criminal prosecution against the women under the controversial fast-track single justice procedure system. A mother has been convicted of not paying for a TV licence because her nephew watched Match of the Day while she was in hospital caring for her sick baby. The 31-year-old from Wolverhampton declared to TV licensing that she does not need to pay the £169.50 annual fee because she only watches Netflix and YouTube. And if that's all she does, indeed she doesn't need to pay that fee. Now, it says, but she was taken to court and handed a criminal conviction because her visiting nephew logged into iPlayer on her TV to watch Match of the Day. The incident happened after she and her 15-month-old son had gone into hospital for him to be treated for an infection and liver disease, a court heard. The mother pleaded guilty in the single justice procedure to a charge of using a television receiver without a licence, and a magistrate handed her a conditional discharge with a £146 to pay in court costs and fees. That's disgusting, man. That's disgusting. That should never happen. She will now also have a criminal conviction against her name. The circumstances of the incident were set out in the mother's mitigation statement, which read, when the offence happened, I was at hospital with my son who is 15 months old. He has liver disease and at the time had an infection, and we were in hospital from the 13th of August to the 1st of September. My God, man. My nephew had come down on the weekend, 31st of August, to just do a check on the flat, and he had used BBC iPlayer, which I was unaware of until we had a visit from the TV licence guy. I live with my son and daughter at the flat, and we usually only use Netflix and YouTube, so I didn't think I needed a TV licence. Well, you don't. TV licensing prosecutions are brought through the Communications Act 2003, which sets out that a licence is legally required by a person who has a television and knows or has reasonable grounds or believing that someone else intends to use it to watch live TV. Well, she didn't fit any of those criteria. How could she have known? She wasn't at the flat for days. Right, where was I? Right, so... Right, when the mother was interviewed on the doorstep, now this is important, right, she was interviewed by the goon, okay, she was interviewed on the doorstep by a TV licensing officer, goon, at the start of September. It was noted of her TV, no channels was on and no channels tuned in. Right, so no offence was committed at that point either. The officer was also told that her nephew was the one who watched BBC iPlayer while visiting. Her case was fast-tracked to prosecution without the chance of an out-of-court penalty because she had declared previously that she did not need a TV licence. Right, now, this is the important bit, and I've beat this point to death in previous videos. The only reason that she got prosecuted is because she voluntarily volunteered that information to the TV licence goon. She had no legal obligation to speak to that person. They had no right to enter her property, which I don't believe they did based on what I've just read there. She had no need at all whatsoever to divulge that information. She's basically she's brought this on herself because she spoke to the goon, who she probably believed was some sort of law enforcement, some official from TV licence. People, you need to wise up. You have no legal obligation to speak to these people. She's brought this on herself, and while I'm sympathetic to her, I believe this is absolutely disgusting. Please, people, if you know of anybody that you think might be at risk of speaking to these people or otherwise engaging with them or phoning TV licence when you know that they don't need one, someone that's vulnerable even, yeah. Like I said, I mentioned a case in the past of a Down syndrome person who the council managed their finances. They had nothing to, the council was their what's that term that they use, their power of attorney, essentially, yeah. Please, people, you need to spread this message. You need to educate people if you can that know or that you think might be at risk of tripping themselves up or whatever. There's no reason for people to be prosecuted. You don't need to speak to them. You don't need to let them in. You shouldn't speak to them. You shouldn't let them in. This is disgusting. Her kid was in hospital. What is wrong with these magistrates? Why don't they, if they come across a case like that, why don't they just dismiss it? There's no need for this, for people to be prosecuted for this. This is absolutely disgusting and it needs to stop. Thanks for watching.